The key thing for us is we encourage our team to use it everywhere that they possibly can, but it can't replace ownership and critical thinking.
I tell my employees to work smarter, not harder. It's not here to replace entire people and things.
I like to use AI to actually help me see my blind spots. I like to have it as a co-pilot to put holes in my logic.
You have to take it with a grain of salt and you have to stress test it, but at least you've got something more than you
I
had.
think coming up with these questions and queries, really where our intellectual curiosity comes in.
This is Real AI Use Cases Business Owners Roundtable with hosts Elizabeth Gearhart, podcast consultant, marketing expert, and PhD researcher using AI every day, and Richard Gearhart, entrepreneur, seasoned business owner, and intellectual property attorney specializing in innovation. Here's how real companies are using AI right now.
Now it is time for live AI use cases, Business Owners Roundtable. And each person's going to get a chance to talk about one way they're using AI, and then we're going to have a roundtable where we all do a discussion. We're going to start with the man with the wonderful name, Wombi Rose. So what is just one or two ways right now? And then you can tell more after we get going.
Yeah, we can stick with one. One of our amazing team members built this tool to analyze all the demand for cards and then come up with what we call a line plan. So which occasions, which recipients, which themes, which styles we should focus on, and generate every month a list of prioritized designs that we should work on.
That is really amazing and really great. And I use it for research a lot myself and some of those like business plans and stuff, but I think that's just such a great use of it. But we're not done yet, so let's keep going. Christina Muller, what is one way you're using AI for your business?
Yeah, so I like to use AI to actually help me see my blind spots when I'm making a proposal or putting together a strategy for an organization. I like to have it as a co-pilot to put holes in my logic or help me see things that maybe I'm not seeing fully.
That's really a smart one, too. I just presented at PodFest, and one of their recommendations was put your slides through ChatGPT and ask it what questions people are going to ask.
Yes.
I got some doozies, I'll tell you. So, Alyssa Pettinato, what is one way you're using AI in your business?
In my business, I work with a lot of people that they're not in the creative space. So sometimes they just can't conceptualize what's something that I can see in my mind. Like I can see a design like that scene from A Beautiful Mind where the numbers are like floating on the screen, but other people like cannot do that. Yeah. So it's been extremely helpful with me to help people conceptualize, okay, so we're going to do this napkin with this plate and this, and they're like, we're doing all this stuff. Maybe they live in a completely different country and I can't physically bring them somewhere to show them, or honestly, it's never been done because it's a unique design. So I will use it to put together a slight kind of image where it's never 100%, but it will give somebody the idea and they're like, oh my God, I can conceptualize it now, because they need to physically see these things sometimes. They can't really, it's hard to get someone to trust the process blind.
That's really good.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've done the exact same thing within just creating proposals for companies. When they want to make a custom card, it's okay, we can really quickly just show you something. And if you like it, we can go back and actually design it for real.
Yeah. It needs a lot of hand holding with the images for sure, but it's very helpful.
Richard Gearhart, what is one way you're using AI in Gearhart Law?
Oh, there's so many ways. Lately, I've been using AI to try to get a better understanding of their YouTube channel performance for the law firm. So one of the things, if you're trying to get more views on your YouTube channel, is studying the retention curves. And so I'll take a screenshot of the retention curve for a particular video, and I'll have AI analyze it and give me information about how the viewers are doing with it. And it'll also give me suggestions about how to make it even better. That's something that has been a real help for us. So that's how we're using it.
So one way I'm using it for this little podcast, actually. So I'm taking the transcript and I'm putting it through AI and I'm saying, okay, give me the show notes optimized for the large language models like ChatGPT, et cetera, so that when people are looking, they'll see it in the show notes, and then also give me the optimized content for the website. So I'm using it as like a back-end tool to optimize for search, and it's telling me exactly what it wants to find us. So I think it's really powerful that way. Wombi, I know you have a million other ways you're using it.
I think we all have.
We all do. So let's just talk about that.
Yeah, I think the key thing for us is we encourage our team to use it everywhere that they possibly can, but it can't replace ownership and critical thinking. And so everything from kind of a lot of the use cases just mentioned where it's a discrete task and it can help us with whether it's research or decision making or slides or analysis, to those places where we actually literally build it into tools that are operating every day, whether that's a chatbot on the site or a tool that is writing our product descriptions based on the image of a product. Is really all throughout the business.
I would say a million different ways. I tell my employees to work smarter, not harder, but like exactly what he said. It's not here to replace entire people and things. And in my industry, it is actually something where I actually just had this conversation with the New York Post like yesterday because they're working on a story. And they were like, what are some issues that AI have had on business, like your industry? Because some people are like, oh, I don't need a wedding planner. I can do it myself using AI, and they're learning really quickly. That's
the same thing in the
literally. Oh, the law.
I can do this
medical.
contract.
my
And
God.
you look at it and it's like,
It's not correct
It's
sometimes.
incorrect.
Right.
There's a lot of misinformation because it's pulling sometimes from all parts of the internet, like even Reddit. And that's not like where you get. I started a podcast last year, Misjudged, and I use it for the same thing with understanding social media metrics as well, and helping to sometimes get backstory on a guest where I'm like, I couldn't read the whole book, but help me summarize a little bit of it. And just blogs, SEO, like the little low-hanging stuff, I think.
For research.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. And maybe like cleaning up an email, that's a little tense.
Yeah.
Take the edge off of this. Yes. Take the bite out. Yes.
I try not to use it for emails because I'm scared that I'm just going to get so into that habit.
Yeah.
And I really want people to hear me.
Yeah.
There's other kinds of documents where it doesn't matter so much. But when I have my own style of writing emails, and I want the team and my clients to know that it's coming from me. So that's one place where I personally draw the line. But I also know a lot of people are using it for that function, and you get some of these most beautiful emails. Never imagine. You're like, this person's a genius.
Yes. Pointing emojis and all kinds.
But I think where the human brain part comes in is one, checking the end product, 'cause it's never like you always have to check that. But also, how do you do the query? What questions do you ask? Like coming up with original questions to ask that maybe people haven't thought of asking before. So when I did my presentation at PodFest, I think I presented on a topic that people hadn't really thought about before because the question hadn't occurred to them. So I think coming up with these questions and queries really where our intellectual curiosity comes in.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think too, I running a business, I have a bajillion questions that I've never been able to answer because you can't pay somebody to answer every single question.
I wish.
But I can type it into ChatGPT and I can get some sort of answer. And sometimes I get a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to take it with a grain of salt and you have to stress test it. But at least you've got something more than you had. And then sometimes it's really right. So it's the key is understanding the difference.
And one thing I love about it, this is probably my favorite thing. I like to ask a lot of questions, and I'm a chatty person, but it never tells me what a stupid question that was.
Yeah.
And in fact, it says the opposite. That was a very intelligent question. You're demonstrating great professional insight.
Always starts with that.
Yeah.
A great question.
It's funny.
So it's like a dopamine hit.
I wonder if we did that just as people.
Yeah.
That was, that was an amazing comment. Yeah.
So true. I actually like to ask these LLMs what other people are asking in terms of maybe my target organization and seeing what pain points are going on for them. And they will tell me unidentifiably what people are asking them, what are some of their challenges, what they're seeking support for from these LLMs.
We're doing that with the law firm too. What questions are people asking ChatGPT right now?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Love that. That's so smart.
Yeah.
Richard is giving me the twirly finger of death.
We're spiraling.
So thank you all. This has been Live AI Use Cases Business Owners Roundtable.
You have been listening to Real AI Use Cases Business Owners Roundtable. We hope you found this valuable. Join us again for more stories, because the future of business is driven by AI. This podcast was recorded at the iHeart Studios in Manhattan as part of the Passage to Profit radio show.